Welcome to the English Department News. My name is Matej Borka.
And I'm Vivian Szatmári.
Finally, this is it! Our final semester! What do you think?
I'm really sad about it.
I know, me too.
The sad factor. We want to remind you of two important dates when it comes to third year students.
The first deadline is Friday, March the 6th. By then, students have to hand in the reading list for the oral part of the exit exam.
The second deadline is Wednesday, April the 22nd. This is, as you all know, the date for the submission of the szakdolgozat. Be happy about it and don't forget it.
Dear Padawans or first year students, you name it, you should start thinking about choosing either a specialization or a minor and which concentration you would like to study.
Don't worry, ask second or third year students about the options. For a concentration, there are only three: American Studies, Linguistics and British Studies.
And now, some fun stuff to look forward to. We're gonna actually hold a St. Patrick's Day party like we did last year. Did you come then?
No, unfortunately I couldn't go, but this year I don't want to miss it. Where is it going to be?
There's no set date yet, but it's gonna be around March the 17th. And if anyone wants to help organize the thing, please feel free to join in.
And now we would like to introduce our new teacher at the department, Orsolya Puc. Matej talked with her about her first impressions and experiences.
So we have here in this edition of Teacher Focus Orsolya Puc, who actually studied here at this particular university. So, Orsi, please tell me why did you choose English as a BA back then?
Okay, it's a good question. To be honest, I don't really remember, but maybe it started at nursery school, so I started learning English then.
Oh, okay.
And I always like languages, and my main focus was on Hungarian linguistics. So at first I started with a Hungarian linguistics and literature BA, and
also
then,
here?
yes, also here. And then I realized that being a minor student is not enough, so I didn't choose English as a minor, but I started it as a major.
Yeah.
So I had two majors at the same time. It was not an easy task to do it at the same time, and I also chose German as a minor. So maybe you can see that I really like languages, and I really like comparing languages, so we have contrastive linguistics together. I mean, I'm the teacher and he is the student.
Yeah, hi.
So maybe it's about languages.
Yeah, and why linguistics? I mean, you know, we have like American Studies and British Studies here, and I'm sure you chose linguistics as a concentration back then.
Yes, you're right. I guess it also started earlier. I think being a human means that we can think and we can speak, right?
Yeah.
And thinking and speaking is about language. So it makes us a human, that we can speak and we use languages. And I think it's well worth studying. And there are a lot in languages what you can explore. So that's why languages and linguistics.
And do you do anything else besides teaching here?
Yes, it's again about languages and linguistics.
Oh.
Yes, I'm studying as well as a PhD student. I'm in the third year, so it's my last year. I'm studying at ELTE. It's linguistics doctoral school. It's about
Wow.
cognitive linguistics. The name of the program is something like cultural linguistics.
Okay.
So we investigate in this program the connection among thinking, culture and language. So basically it's about what I have mentioned earlier, that we are conscious beings, so that means we think and we speak. So this is a process, I mean thinking and speaking, which determines, so the two factors determines each other, and this is not a one-way traffic process, but how we think influences our language, and our language also influences our way of thinking. So
I've been just thinking about that. Can you remember the course with the applied linguistics? I was just thinking, yes, I know, like linguistic relativism and
exactly.
linguistic. What objective? No.
Yes, we have objectivism and relativism, and
Yeah.
this is the weak version of relativism. So
Okay.
the strong version says that language determines our thinking, but I would say that's too strong, so I'm for the weak version, that it
Okay.
influences. And the third factor is culture, right? So
Yeah.
we translated a sentence in our
Yeah.
class about cultural aspects of the language, like több is veszett mohácsnál, for example. So there are sayings and sentences in our language which are not easy to translate, for example,
Yeah.
because they are full of our cultural knowledge.
A little bit informal question. You told us that you like languages, then I assume you like reading too, right?
Yes, right.
Yay!
I also mentioned that if you have a major in English or any kinds of languages, it means you like reading. So
Well, you gotta read.
yes, it was a bit interesting for me that students with English major were afraid of, or I don't know, a bit surprised when I mentioned, please read a paper for next week. How many pages does it have? Something 30 or 40. How many? So they were so surprised, but it's so obvious for me that you are a student of arts. It means you like reading, or if you don't write, then it's not a problem, but you should read the materials, right? Because if you are a student of, I don't know, engineering or something like that, it means you draw
like
whatever
those
you have to.
things, like
Yes.
I don't want to say blueprints, but I think those are blueprints, whatever. And our final question, why did you choose this age?
Okay, again, to be honest, it started in my childhood, as my parents are teachers, so both of them are teachers, so maybe it's in my blood somewhere. But my philosophy, if I can say that, is that teaching is not about being strict and standing in front of the students and talking about wise things and tell the truth, but it's about making your students think, and it's about arguing, it's about discussing things, so you have to be thought-provoking if you are a teacher.
And we're gonna wrap it up. This episode of Teacher Focus. Thank you. So this week we asked teachers and students about what aspects of university life do they like the most.
I like to come here because we have a very nice group, yeah. And I think the classes are interesting. And I didn't really want to come. I had to come, but it was a very positive surprise. And I like the atmosphere, and teachers are nice. Classes are interesting, so it's good.
Okay, so I like being here because I can spend my whole Friday here, from beginning of the day until the end of the day. But I like the group, I like the teachers, I like that I can speak and listen to native speakers mostly, and this was one of the reasons why I came here, to listen to native speakers, teachers.
My favorite aspect here is that the colleagues I work with some close colleagues in Alkalmaza nyelvezeti tanszék, and these colleagues are really great, and that's my favorite aspect here.
For example, the rush. Every day to attend to every class, that adrenaline, it really keeps everyone on edge, I think. For one example.
I don't know. There are some good lectures which seem I like. For example, those which concerning with culture, and that's all.
Well, what I like most in this university are the traditions, which are more than 300 years old, and they date back to Sármecbánya, and we keep these traditions to this day.
The classrooms, I have to say, yes. I just love being in class with the students. That's the best part, the human factor, I think.
Well, I love it that we had so much free time. I mean, there was this one time when I didn't have to study until 11 p.m. I mean, it was glorious. We just got out of university.